Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 199th edition of Cinema Effect. I'm Zach, and I'm joined by the returning PWSA's number one fanboy, Jaden.
Zaddy.
I was just so excited, I stuffed it up. It's great. It's great to have you back. It's great to have you back. I'm sure you're just pumped for this movie, of all movies, to return for.
Yeah, I'm really keen. Yeah. Did that sell it?
No. And I'm joined by, of course, our resident Irish citizen, aka Fitzy, aka Liam.
Hello.
Hello. What a great crew to do this movie with, you know what I mean? Rebel Moon's number one fan.
Yeah.
That's what I should have introed you as, for sure. Excited to return to this fledgling franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere else you get your podcasts. So subscribe, please. This week, the movie we're reviewing is Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. Not The Scavenger. It's The Scargiver. It was uploaded to Netflix on April 19th, 2024. It was once again directed by Zack Snyder. It is a sci-fi action film, and the synopsis says, Kora and surviving warriors prepare to defend Veldt, their new home, alongside its people against the realm. The warriors face their pasts, revealing their motivations before the realm's forces arrive to crush the growing rebellion. Yep, neat. Cool. Jaden, what did you think?
Can I take this time to just take issue with your uploaded wording or not?
Oh, when I say that?
Yeah. I don't know, it doesn't feel very can I offer an alternative and you can pick it up if you want in debuted?
But you see, I do it on purpose because it's meant to make it sound worse.
Yeah, I get it, but it's like
you still want it to have a bit of prestige, like a bit of show it some respect.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. You can pick it up if you want.
Okay, debuted on Netflix. Yeah. No,
maybe not.
No, I just find it a funny contrast to when we talk about the theatrical releases versus this thing was like just a file that was uploaded. I just find that I don't know. It entertains me for no real reason. But anyway, I thought you were just about to come in hard on the movie, but you can also do that if you want.
Yeah. I thought that this movie was surprisingly palatable. I'll be frank. I enjoyed it more than the first, which seems to be the uncommon kind of opinion. I didn't mind that it was an hour and 20 minutes of farming simulator. It was this odd kind of thing of just painfully bored and absolutely no reason for it. But at the same time, I was like, I can get down to this, just repeated slow-mo shots of cutting grain and Jimon Honsu giving speeches and all that. I was like, yeah, cool. And then when the battle started, I was like, yeah, the end of it, yeah, I was surprised that that's kind of where it ended up, but it somehow worked for me to an extent.
Yeah, right. I'm basically with you. I mostly enjoyed this. It wasn't it wasn't super memorable for sure. And since they were conceived and shot as being just one movie, a lot of my positives and negatives will remain from the last one. But I did find this to be overall a more consistent experience. Scenes and characters didn't feel underserved or out of place as much in the second half. It just flowed a lot more for me. So, I walked away definitely preferring this one between the two parts. I haven't seen... I mean, this one did have a lower score on IMDb, which I was kind of surprised by, to be honest. So, I'm surprised by that opinion, that it's apparently a consensus out there. But, I don't know. Fitzy, we really want to know.
Sorry, on Letterboxd, it's a 2 versus a 1.9, so it's a minor difference, but
Yeah. Right. Oh, so is that all you meant by when you said that?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. IMDb was a 5.6 to a 5.2.
That's the same thing. Again.
Pretty much. The Metascore was again 30 or something. It's like, Jesus, it's a bit harsh. Liam, I really want to know what you think.
Yeah, I feel more or less on par with how I did with the first one. I mean, it is like a much more sustained environment and atmosphere, as you guys are saying, and that kind of lets the film breathe a little bit more than the first one, where the first one you're just kind of like jumping around between different planets, and it's a bit all over the place. But yeah, I enjoyed the agrarian lifestyle, juxtaposed with the Roman imperial thing that we have going on. It's I think like the broad idea is still appealing to me, and I kind of like understand what Snyder saw in the story with those kind of broad strokes. But there are still some moments that are like pretty egregiously like cliche, like especially in the climax. I think you feel that the most. But I was in for the farming simulator, as Jane put it, and I think the action is very decent as well in this one. So yeah, I enjoyed what the bulk of the movie was. Those two elements, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. What you said um about the first one feeling meandering, like in that first one, the whole process of assembling the team, it just felt like all of these different generic pit stops and detours, and like why are we, I mean, I understand why we're doing it, but it's just like I don't know, it just felt a lot of it just felt out of place and weird. And yeah, now that we got that's sort of over and done with, this one just felt a lot more focused, like I was saying, on the setting and on the conflict itself. So I definitely agree with that. But did this film like have the same? Because I know a big part of the first review for you is like the camp appeal. You
Mm,
know, did this film have that as much? Because I sort of feel like it didn't.
yeah. No, I didn't feel like it was there as much. I felt like it was more like kind of in between, or it was more middle ground kind of stuff where the dialogue wasn't overly melodramatic or campy or anything. And
Mm,
um yeah, that is something I enjoyed a lot about the first one, but I guess I just enjoyed different things about this. Um,
sure.
but
Yeah.
I do miss its absence a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I thought you might. Because I did also find the dialogue this time leaned more like you said on the cliche side as opposed to the campy side. Um,
Right, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Mm.
so I thought that might be a weakness for you. So that's why I asked. But yeah, no, that's cool. What about bloody Ed Skrein as Atticus Noble? That's his name, by the way. Yeah, I just kept calling him in my notes Dario number one. But anyway, like how much like was he still enjoyable for you this time? I can't remember. Did you like him for like his camp factor or his silliness factor?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I like that about him in the first one.
did you feel the same? Yeah.
Um, he felt mostly the same. He felt more like reasonable in this one. Like when he was like explaining his motivations, he was like, glory for the empire. I was like, oh, okay, I understand this character.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that there's still enough campiness from him to be enjoyed. All this kind of grunting faces and then that kind of stuff, like super villain kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I just jumped in because I remember him being a standout for you in the first one. He in this one, is it odd that he's been resurrected and he somehow feels more reasonable now? Because I actually agree with that. I don't know. I just thought the
Mm.
way, like, the character didn't really change after he'd been brought back from the dead, and that was like the big thing for him at the start of the movie and at the end of the first one.
Yeah, they're kind of setting that up that he would be like more
He go,
deranged or something.
or something. Yeah, exactly. Like he's a bigger,
Yeah,
badder force
yeah.
because he's back.
He
And it's
wasn't.
like he wasn't at all. It
Yeah.
was exactly the same.
Mm.
So that was weird. I wasn't really into that, but I did like his scenes. I thought he has good screen presence still. Like that first, that scene where he like takes over command and shoots the doctor guy. It's like nothing you haven't seen before. But I thought like the actor had charisma, and it was pretty engaging to watch. Did you still like him, Jaden? I don't think you did. You like him in the first place?
I should have re-listened to the episode so I could get my opinions in order.
I'm in the exact same boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember how I felt about him. Probably not. And it's like I think that because in this film I kind of just didn't really care about him either.
Yeah.
I still think he's not really warranted as like a villain. That I think the decision to resurrect him is still what's just wrong with me, and like that's what affects the whole thing in this movie. It was never
Yeah.
warranted to have him come back and be built up to like this way. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely understand the more reasonable kind of thing that you guys feel, but like I still didn't really vibe with him. He did feel more low level, actually. No, yeah, that you yeah.
That's the weird part. It's like just kill him at the end of the first one and give us a bigger, badder villain,
Mm.
or something different.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. But speaking of can't remember what we thought, I can't remember. I know Fitzy and I were positive for sure, but I can't remember where you landed on Sophia Botella as Kora in the last one.
I'm pretty sure I was negative. I think.
How did that shift or not shift? Because I thought she was still the strongest part of the movie.
Yeah, that shifted to the positive this time. I think having her flashback to like the betrayal of the king. I think that was a fantastic sequence. By the way, I think that was really strong.
I liked it too.
With the people playing the music and the stabbing of them, like the way that
like
Caesar was
Caesar.
stabbed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that went hard.
I get it.
So I think like that added a lot to the character that I needed in the first one. Like I don't understand why hide that part of the backstory in the second half of your film. I just think it would have done a lot more to elevate the character, earlier. But no, sorry, there was a positive shift. Yes.
So that did a lot for you, that one. Yeah, it was a good performance from her when she was, because she knew about the plan beforehand. Like when she was walking into the room, and then they do a few shots where she's like walking in the background of the what do you call it, like the king's consort or whatever, and she's walking in the background. You can sit like you can look at her, and she's like she knows what's about to happen, and it's sort of written all over her face, but she's trying to play it down. And I thought, that was just a small little moment I picked out, but I thought she was still really good in the whole movie. But it did have me thinking back to like what we knew about her backstory in the first one, because obviously this whole sequence was new, and I also enjoyed it. But I feel like I didn't really learn anything new about her, though. Because I sort of feel like I knew this. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was new information. I think it was just a recontextualizing of events in that, like, she was, like, she was framed for it by Belisarius or whatever his name is.
Like, we specifically knew she was framed already?
Did we know that, though?
Maybe not.
I think that was the new information, wasn't it?
Okay, right. Okay. So then why did we think she left last time?
Because she just couldn't handle the guilt.
Oh, of all the terrible actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, she was shown being kind of a shitty person over there. But now it's like we get the actual, like, specific event, I guess.
Yeah,
I think.
I think as well. Yeah. Speculation based on memory. Yeah. Okay. No, that was a strong scene. Immediately when she shoots bloody the princess. First of all, I don't know. The princess forgiving her was like right on the spot before she's about to, imagine forgiving someone before you're about to be shot by them. You know what I mean? I guess she knew she was going to survive or something, but I was just like, wow, that's good for you, you know. But then everyone else turning and immediately blaming her was like obviously the scummiest shit I've ever seen. So no wonder she wanted to leave. But the flashbacks, as with the first one, continue to be like the strongest part of the movie as well. Like in terms of like, I feel like the sequences, barring the goddamn terrible fake beards that the king had and bloody what's his Belisarius or whatever, dude, the worst fake beards I've ever seen on screen. That's terrible. Oh my god, they need to lean into the tone then. If they need to give them some like crazy dialogue or something. You got two boring actors with terrible beards. It's like that's not good. But anyway,
hey, that's Carrie. Isn't that Carrie Owls or whatever his name is? He's a good actor. He's good.
Is he?
Princess Bride. He was in Dead Reckoning Part 1, I think, as well.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
His beard did nothing for him in this movie. Oh, sorry.
I liked it better.
Okay. Is that part
was
of the
camp?
That remained?
That was camp. Okay, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. But I did like the flashbacks for sure. A lot of them, when you get into sort of the line of them that you get with like the other characters because they start spieling their all their backstories, it's like some of them do feel a little bit similar. But I thought like Titus's one was really cool. And finally, we talked about it in the first review of him being a totally underutilized character that I have no reason why, no understanding of why he's there or who he is or anything. Like that scene was all I needed. That's like, it's not like incredible character development or anything, but I was like, okay, I get you now. I just needed something for God's sake. And it was a good scene, having all your men be killed in front of you for your own decision. That's pretty big deal. I thought like was it like snow or dust or whatever it was? Like that's Zack Snyder visual, stuff 101 that's just always looks great, So his whole sequence looked great. And then I like the others too. I don't know if you guys had any standouts here or if you liked them at all.
I think the one where like it was like the kind of like 1930s New York type of thing.
With cinematography, right?
Yeah, like that goes hard as well. But like, I think
Yeah.
that kind of speaks to the fact that like, I mean, like this very much feels like a compilation of things that Zack Snyder thought was like cool, and he kind of just tried to put together, and like parts of it work. Like he's got parts of his Star Wars story. He's got parts of his fantasy. He's got parts of New York, and he's got parts of all this and stuff. So I think that kind of like, while it's cool, I think it still feels like, I think it speaks to the disjointedness of some of this, overall.
Yeah, right. It's just like not that the flashback felt out of place, but it's just like it's there because he felt it looked cool.
Yeah, and it just feels like yeah.
And at times it feels more out of place than other times.
Mm.
I mean, just on a visual front, like I do like a lot of the shots in this movie. We'll talk about it more in the action, I guess. But I don't know. It's cool watching this, just knowing that he's the cinematographer and shooting everything with himself as the camera operator as well. I don't know. Like it adds a little bit of a layer of, I don't know, enjoyment, I guess, for me. Just like picturing him actually shooting all this stuff. It's like, that's cool. Especially when you that shot. It was a quick shot. I wonder if anyone will know what I'm talking about. In the goddamn, when they're all fighting on the ground, I think it's sort of when the conflict sort of starts. In the third act, and it sort of starts like halfway through the movie. Actually, to be honest, it's not really the third act. But anyway, goddamn Noble like jumps down into a tunnel and lands, and it's the exact same shot from Batman v Superman where Superman does the same thing in the desert.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, I saw that right away, and I was like, there it is, right there. It was still a cool shot. So yeah, no, I enjoyed spotting all the Snyderisms around for sure.
Did this battle not feel a lot like the Battle of Crate? Especially with that tunnel and like the tunnel, and the kind of the massive mech, the unstoppable mech coming towards you.
I suppose.
Like, and the small dwindling rebel force, the mind
of
the Empire.
Yeah, I think I feel like the Battle of Crate, though, the way it's portrayed on screen, it's not really focused on the ground combat as much. It's like sort of more in the speeders. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I don't feel like in the way it actually plays out.
Yeah,
it feels similar, but like definitely like just in the I guess the terrain setup. Or the yeah, exactly that kind of thing. I can see those similarities for sure. I thought the action was pretty good overall. I thought like there were definitely some standout scenes. Had some exciting moments. The goddamn, I don't know. I actually finally, sorry, Andy, but Katana Lady, who's what's her name? Andy's hating me right now. I'm so sorry. Bayduna as Nemesis, like still the most whatever character, but at least this time she did something that was kind of cool, and instead of fighting General Malone's spider, So this was at least a bit better than that. And she actually had some choreography and some other people to fight with katanas as well. So I'm like, okay, that was kind of cool. I still was totally zoning out when she and Blonde Boy like were having some sort of bonding moment or something. I don't know what that was about. That felt shoehorned for sure.
I guess she was like a sacrificial lamb in the end. She was one of the people that had to die to, add some emotion to the film or whatever. Add some
right, exactly, yeah. Off a checklist.
Mm.
Who else died? Oh, obviously, bloody.
Well, yeah, like the village, like one of the village leaders died, and like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In the first one, the brother died of that warrior, like fighter girl.
That's right. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Oh yeah. Wait, are we talking about the same person? The chick with the guy who's I think from the Rebels, who's got the Furiosa makeup.
Yeah.
I did not remember her from the first one at all.
Oh really? She was part of the brother sister duo that were like rebel fighters kind of thing.
I thought that was the other chick who showed up in the fighter later.
She wasn't the brother or the sister. I think she was just
Wait.
part of the group.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, who are you
But I
talking?
didn't
Oh,
remember
you're talking about the one that was part of the group the whole time, like
Yeah.
in this movie.
What?
in this
Ah,
movie.
yeah. In this movie.
Oh, okay. No, I'm talking about the one that showed up at the end. I thought that's what you were saying.
Oh yeah. No. Sorry, yeah, they do both have the same makeup. Sorry, the white chick who's there the whole time with
Wow,
the Cleopatra makeup.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't. Do you guys remember it from the first one?
She was just one of the I think she was just one of the soldiers that was part of
Yeah.
the
Okay.
girl that turns up at the end, like army or whatever.
So did she get elevated character wise, like status wise?
I guess so.
I feel like they tried to elevate her to actual character. I didn't really
Mm.
remember her as actual character last time. But okay, anyway, whatever. The other death is, of course, my main man, Dario number 2. What's his name? Gunnar? I don't know how you say it.
Oh
Gunnar.
yeah. This was the moment that I felt was like egregiously cliche because I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't very invested in their relationship, and it felt. I just wasn't expecting this kind of emotional, payoff or whatever it was. In the end.
Snyder had the balls to do what Ryan Johnson couldn't, in that he killed, the main love interest. When he should have killed Finn, in Last Jedi.
Right. So you think okay?
This was
comparing
Snyder,
Gunnar to Finn?
remedying Ryan Johnson's sin.
I should go back and rewatch and think of Gunnar as Finn.
Hmm.
And
But Gunnar didn't even seem like he got that hurt. Like I know he fell down the whole ship or whatever, but it was like they didn't make much fuss about it. And Gunnar he got up, he killed the main bad guy.
yeah,
He killed
you got that
Nerval.
moment.
Yeah, and then suddenly he was like, not fit to live anymore. I don't know. It was strange.
Yeah, it sucks because it's not. I don't blame the actors because I actually think like his death scene. Again, I think Sophia's great. I think he's a solid actor. Like I thought, there was nothing wrong with the scene in a vacuum. I thought it was well acted, but it's just like, again, like to get us here, we've just had nothing but sort of half-baked cliche stuff. You know what I mean? So it just doesn't really work as a payoff.
Mm.
And that's where I think that's we can talk about the film being cliche in certain areas. The part of it that matters the least is just like, oh, I've seen action scenes like this before. Like, there's some stuff when they're fighting in the tank and like in the mechs and stuff, and it's like, okay, I've seen this kind of stuff before, and that's like whatever. But then when you get cliche with the actual dialogue and characters, that's where the film sort of hurts more when you're trying to pay off something later. So that was kind of a bummer.
What happened to Charlie Hunnam? Did he die in the first one?
Yeah, he died. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, good. Yeah.
Remember how he betrayed them, Wayne?
Yeah, but when I don't remember him dying though. I remember him betraying.
Yeah, he did die, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh. I was gonna say if they just left him out of the second one, that'd have been sad.
I know. I would have liked him.
He's
around.
in the extended cut.
Oh fuck yeah! Yeah, I gotta wait for that.
He'll be around.
Have you guys actually heard about the director's cuts of these movies?
Yeah.
Mm.
The fact I knew they were coming made me hesitant to even want to watch this because I feel like the real thing's coming later. Like the Snyder, it's the Snyder cut all over again. But it's like now it's like by design from the start. And like the way he was described, so I watched an interview with Zack, and the way he was describing it actually kind of sounded interesting because apparently like there's like crazy alien sex scenes and tons more gore and stuff, and I was just like that actually, and like if you blend that,
that's the movie I want to see,
right? Like I'm not even like if you blend that into like what we understand, like this feels now like a half-baked vision understanding of like all this extra stuff that's going to be in it, but like who knows? Maybe they're still bad. I don't know. I didn't think this was bad. You know what I mean? Maybe they're still the same, but I don't know. That just sort of made me like, oh, I wish I was watching that now instead because now I'm gonna have to watch it again if I can be bothered. Anyway. Sorry, what was I saying? Oh, bloody Gunnar. Who made the gifts for them again? Was it that other village chick?
Oh yeah, the blonde villager.
Oh yeah. When she was making the gifts and giving speeches for everyone.
That was painful, to be honest.
When she got to Gunnar and she was just like, she said the most like generic shit ever for him only. Like everyone else had a few sentences, and she was just like, "You are our heart," and it's like, okay, Not a lot going on there, you know. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. Where it's like his death's just kind of whatever, but he did get to kill the other Dario. Do you think that was like cathartic for the actor?
Do you know had
Touching.
discussions about that on set?
They would have had to have, surely. I'm not even joking.
Mm.
Well, that the irony there. I don't know. Maybe Zack did it on purpose too.
Mm.
That's probably a bit far. But maybe. Who knows? You also had. How do we feel about Hopkins' bot this time? He had a little bit more to do. A little bit.
Does his aesthetic just feel completely unjustified? Like, it looks sick, but like,
Oh yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Like, where did he get the antlers from? Why is he gone full like nomadic with the leaves and
Yeah.
shit? And like,
Didn't he get given the crown that leaves in the last movie from the blonde chick?
but not the antlers, right?
I thought he was given that.
Oh,
but
okay, maybe.
again,
Okay, sorry. Okay.
speculation.
Yeah, I thought he would have had like a bigger backstory in this movie where he had like a cult or something. Or
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it'd go like a True Detective season 1 route.
Yeah.
I was kind of. I mean, I had my eye on him because I liked him a lot. I liked the promise of him a lot, and I'm like, use him more. And he actually got involved in the fight, so that was good. I was happy with that. For like the first half, in the farming simulator half of the movie, which I guess is what we're calling it, like it was. I don't know why he was like exiled or something. You know, he was like he's just always sitting outside the town, like looking in. I don't know why. Why isn't he in there helping?
He was reflecting, man.
It's kind of weird, but then like he did actually come in and have a pretty good scene with Kora, where they had their talk about their backstories and stuff.
Mm.
You must know you cannot win. It's like, okay, that was a good scene. I like that. I feel like I need that. That was actually like his only real meaty scene in the movie, but like I needed it because otherwise I would have been starved of Jimmy content. You know. Were there any new aspects to the world building that stood out to us at all? I know we did cover a fair bit of it last time. So we probably covered most of it, but I didn't note the weird, like, why did the middle central part of the ship like have a body, have a head?
Oh yeah. Mm.
That was kind of weird. Oh, like the creepy Egypt eye violinist. Is that meant to be like a Caesar thing again?
Yeah, I was wondering that with all the bagheads and stuff because it appeared in because I thought it was just for the musicians, but then there was like a whole like massive group of them later. No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was quite cool. Oh, yeah. Do you know anything about that?
No, I mean, we could be like Eye of Horus kind of shit, but I don't know.
Is Horus not Egyptian?
Yeah, but he's blending different shit, isn't he? He's taken from everywhere, isn't he?
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. There were the how do we feel about the jar holograms? I didn't remember them from the first one.
No. They weren't too bad. I don't mind. I know, like in terms of like having like a scientific or like a sci-fi kind of like foreign, device. It's not the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Big jar. Yeah. Oh, we got derailed from the action, but whatever. I actually really liked the final sword fight sequence. I think it's the strongest action sequence in the movie and in both of them. I was actually invested in it. Like, it was probably the most engaged I'd been, where you've got two of the stronger characters fighting each other. That's good. That's a start, because like a lot of the other action scenes, like they've got cool slow-mo and stuff, but it's like, again, you only care about the actions about the characters to varying extents. But I thought the choreography was solid. The slow motion of them like falling and the ship changing angle, it added some suspense to the movie that it needed at the end there. So I thought for a final action set piece, it did its job. It was actually pretty good.
I have a little recollection of this actual sword fight. I guess it wasn't that effective on me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't even think I really liked the sword play with Nemesis and the other lot, to be honest, either.
Oh, no?
No, I think it was kind of very simple choreography, no?
Nothing I hadn't seen before, I guess, but I thought it was effective. I guess I can't disagree with its simplicity. I don't really know, but I don't know what makes simple choreography exactly, but
Yeah, I think that it had enough flair to it still. I liked
Yeah.
how the effect lightsabers had like they were like like when they moved, they were like red and blue,
Oh
that,
yeah,
that
yeah,
had a
yeah,
cool effect.
yeah. No, I agree with that. When Kora picks it up, that when she comes out of the elevator, that was a quick little fight that I liked as well. And she takes out that lieutenant dude or whatever.
Yeah,
I like that fight as well, and she gets the sword there, which was neat. Her like I don't know. Again, nothing you haven't seen before. This sums up Rebel Moon. That statement sums it up, the whole thing. But like her running around rogue on the ship as well, was cool, kind of exciting. I appreciate it as a change of pace from like if she was just down on the ground fighting with the rest of them, I would have been like definitely a bit more bored, you know.
I don't know. Yeah, like there's nothing special about these sequences, but they're just the action's well executed,
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
paced decently, and
Yeah,
it's just good. I don't know what people are complaining about. It's just
I agree. I mean, to start the conflict, Guna actually did the Well, what did you? I can't remember what you called him in the last review, Liam. Like you called him like Vanilla Guy or something like that. I can't remember.
don't
Um.
know. Like, maybe I was referencing Luke's review where he had like a different name for everyone. It was
Oh.
like fake Tarzan, fake
Yeah.
Ray,
Yeah.
fake
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably we go back and look at that. But he actually did grow a pair when he like gave the go ahead to attack. He like shot the bell, you know,
Mm.
to start the fight. That's like he actually took agency and did something as a character. So I was like, oh, that's good. You know what I mean? He actually did something that the other character didn't want him to do out of passion.
Yeah, but maybe I shouldn't have, but I actually believed Noble in that scene that he would just take Kora and just leave the rest alone. You know,
Hmm.
because that's what Belisarius wanted Kora the most. But,
Yeah, would he have done that? Later, he does just
maybe not.
order them
Maybe
to
not.
fire on the grain anyway.
But that was out
Oh,
of
that's true.
frustration.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the film does give an answer either way. I just. The film gives me no reason to believe. I'll put it this way: I'm given no reason to believe that he would do anything to spare anyone. I guess, even though in the moment it doesn't. I agree with the logic; it makes sense. But like as a character,
Hmm.
he's like just meant to be such a squirmy little piece of shit that it's like, why would
I
he
guess so.
actually spare
Yeah.
them? But it could go either way. Yeah. I've got no trivia for this movie, by the way, because the only piece of trivia on IMDb was this is Zack Snyder's third Netflix movie.
Oh.
Right? Amazing. Yeah. There you
And
go.
we've done all three of them.
Yeah, we sure have. We'll continue to probably. But the end of this movie, was there any reason the Resistance fighters came at that time? Like, did I miss a plot beat where they like one of them tried to contact them or
I don't
something?
know. No, they came super late though.
Yeah, it's
But,
like couldn't you have come earlier?
yeah.
I didn't really understand. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like usually you'd have a beat where it's like it's part of the plot where we got to contact our reinforcements and make it into and it's a bit of a thing.
Hmm.
But that's turned up, I think. Anyway, what else happened? Oh yeah, so they won. The dreadnought got shot down, and then the main thing at the end of the movie is that like at the funeral thing, like the princess is alive, and they need to find her and to fight. And and in this moment, I need to know: do you guys want to see a sequel now, based on that cliffhanger
I
specifically?
do. I think I very much would watch another one. I
Wow.
think I think
Character
I would
development.
take any kind of high quality sci-fi, in just that like
Yeah. Budget.
high
Got a lot of
production.
budget behind
Yeah,
it. Looks
yeah,
good.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd be down to watch a third one.
I would
Same, yeah.
too. Oh, we're all on the same page, great. Yeah, no, I would want to see it for real. I actually think that's a. I mean, I've got. It feels like there's still. It would need to dig deep into like what the princess is about because I still don't really know anything about it. I feel like it's still mainly just there for Cora's backstory.
Mm,
So like, I don't know anything about the princess as a character or anything like that. But like,
mm.
I'd be down. The thing is, though, are we gonna get another one? And like, would it be? What would it be like? Another two parts? Like,
Well, Snyder said he sees potential for 6 Rebel Moons.
But like, but counting this as 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is, like, if they're able to capitalize on this, director's cut cycle and just keep on like having Rebel Moons come out, I think it's likely that they can sustain to at least a third.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't think it's guaranteed. It's not like looking at the reception and everything. It's not like it's a no-brainer. But I think it's definitely possible. I think you're right about that director's cut cycle. It's gonna be really interesting to see how that goes. The thing is, like, I do want to check them out. I am interested, but it's like, am I going to be? If they're too similar, like, I don't know. It's just a bit of a time commitment to like watch something. To watch, I'm never going to watch these again. These versions again. You know what I mean? So it's like, we'll see. Have to see what the reception is and how different they feel or whatever. But if they're really popular, like, is there a possibility that propels them, into the next one? They'll probably be, waiting to see how they go. Can someone explain Titus drinking the water or not to me?
Oh, no clue. Probably just nerves or some shit, no.
But like, was he drinking water or not?
Yeah, well, the thing, he was drinking water, but he wanted to seem like, he wanted just to seem like he didn't care. He was like too cool for school.
So he wanted people to think he was drinking alcohol.
Yeah. And then like
That's so weird.
Is that
not really weird?
Water. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, have you ever seen a scene in a movie or in any story where the point is that he wants to be seen as drinking alcohol, but he's actually drinking water?
It is an inversion of the usual trope, I guess.
That's why it confused me so much. Because obviously I saw him, there's that earlier shot in the movie from the bottom of the barrel, which stood out to me for some reason. And we see him drinking water. And then later he's called out for like, he's drinking water. And then I thought, the fact that the movie's making a point of this makes me think he's not drinking water and he's drinking alcohol. But he was just drinking water. So anyway, I'm sorry, that confused my small brain. My apologies.
I kind of want to, like, with the farming stuff, it is majority of the film, is it not? It is like an hour and 10.
I thought you were overstating it a little bit at the start, to be honest.
It is about an hour of the movie, no?
Yeah, but it's mixed with like Imperial scenes, backstories, speeches. Like the actual farming, I don't think there's a ton there.
But it all works.
There was definitely probably 2 montages, but
yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure why it worked for me, but why did it work for you? Is kind of my question.
It was just pleasant. I don't know. They did use that same song a few times.
Yeah, that was a decent song.
Yeah.
Didn't mind that.
If they brought it back one more time, I probably would have laughed because like that was probably one. They were on the absolute limit of using it, but they didn't surpass the limit, so that's fine.
I mean, in terms of actual cutting of grain, like, fair enough, it's those 2 montages, whatever. But like,
yeah,
it is all about the fucking farming for, even the speeches, all the preparation stuff. That's all about the farming. Like, you can't. I feel like you're just missing it too much.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, okay. Well, if you want to call that section of the movie the farming sequence, in that is like the goal of what they're doing in that sequence, then it is an hour and 10 minutes, I guess. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
But like, but you called it Farming Simulator. I just,
Well, I mean, very much is,
Yeah, I mean, until this is obviously like the very Seven Samurai part of the story, so that's until you have to get the obligatory sequence where they start training the villagers how to shoot. Thank God that wasn't that long, actually, because you knew that shit was coming, and that shit could have gone on way too long because we get it, but it was actually they skimmed through it. Thank God. Let's get to our final verdicts for Rebel Moon Part 2, Jaden.
Like, I think I was considerably more positive on it, but I feel like giving it a 6 is still unjustified. Like, I think I need to stick with a 5, as in, like, it is a step up into an okay quality, rather than being on the downside. It is 5. It could. The director's cut definitely has the potential to push it much further for me, to be honest. Yeah,
I want to see some alien sex for sure.
But then again, like, if they do release a director's cut, are they going to do the whole thing again where they trade as two separate products, or is it going to be,
Like one movie, Rebel Moon director's cut.
No,
Don't
I
know.
mean like because you know how there's Justice League and then there's Zack Snyder's Justice League. Is there going to be a Rebel Moon Part 2 and then a Rebel Moon Part 2 Zack Snyder's version?
As in, like, it's a different listing on Letterboxd.
Yeah, and like are people going to talk about it as if it's a different product rather than just an extended cut?
Ooh, it's a good question. It's a good question.
Because that would piss me off and that would make me hate it. So
I don't see it getting a different entry on Letterboxd.
okay,
Probably
Good.
not.
But how people treat it, I can't make any promises because Zach's got some fans out there. You know what I mean? I mean, some annoying fans. I'm a fan of his, but I agree that like 6 seems too high after this conversation, but I'll give it a 6, and I'll give this review a 5. How about that? How's that sound?
Give the review a 5. I don't know.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Liam, it's a third your fault.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. Slightly less fun than the first one. There was less camp, as you kind of said, but had its enjoyable kind of. It found its pace and its kind of environment, and yeah, that was decent.
Did you give part 1 a 6
7
or a 7?
7.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, so you actually prefer part 1? Wow. Okay.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely prefer this one. I'm with Jaden. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? Let me tell you, if we can do it, anyone can. And that's thanks to Zencaster. Like a lot of other podcasts out there, our show is recorded over the web every week. But trying to record a podcast with platforms like Zoom and Discord can be an audio quality disaster. I'm sure you've heard some of the podcasts I'm talking about with long delays, sound cutting in and out. It is not pleasant. Zencaster captures studio quality sound for all of your guests right from your web browser. Zencaster's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. And with Zencaster's all-in-one platform, you can create and distribute your podcast to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations all in one place. Go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use our code CinemaEffect to get 30% off your first month of any paid plan. That's Zencaster.com/pricing with promo code CinemaEffect with an E for 30% off today. Feel a sense of Zen with Zencaster. All right, we got in a news chat. Guys, can we speed? Are we going to shortest episode of all time? Let's see. We can maybe do it.
30.
Ooh. Let's see what we're going to do for our highlights of the week. Jaden, what have you been watching?
I don't really want to talk about Bad Batch because it's so close to finishing, but I did catch up on that.
So, are you watched 14?
I watched all 14 episodes, yeah, because I was 0 at the start of the week.
I haven't seen the latest one, so I've seen 13.
Okay. I guess I'll drop it a bit now. I can talk about something else in 2 weeks' time, I guess. I think it's incredibly high quality stuff, and watching it, and there's shots every now and then that make me as the audience realize like this is kind of elevated Star Wars. This is the slowest that Star Wars has ever been on screen,
Especially this third season.
Yeah. But it all still functions incredibly well, I think. I think like the maturity in the storytelling is interesting, and like the way they replicate that in the kind of direction it feels very validating, I guess. Maybe is what I want to say. Like that episode on the Snow Planet, for example, like the way that whole thing is structured, rather than being like this massive adventure piece around the worm, as it being this kind of slower extract with that in the background, I think speaks to the different, speaks to the evolution of the kind of animated storytelling over the years.
Yeah.
But I just think it's also just really kind of an amazing thing that an animated show in the Star Wars universe can take on this pace and this kind of style. And I think like the story that they have been ramping up to for these past 3 seasons is all playing out incredibly well. And I'm very excited for the finals.
There's only one left. I thought there were going to be 16 again, but I was wrong.
Oh, is it 15?
Yeah, we got one. Yeah, that's it.
Is it going to be like a supercut then? Like a 40-minute episode?
I don't know.
Oh.
I've got no idea.
I feel like they got a fair
I'm
bit that they
assuming.
could do.
I'm assuming. I haven't seen, as I say, I haven't seen the latest one, so I don't know how much ground they got left. But I sort of assume it's a regular sized. I don't know.
Okay.
I know exactly what you mean, though. Like the show, like it looks like Clone Wars. The starting premise is that it's a Clone Wars sequel / spin-off. So it's like, okay, it's a very different show to Clone Wars now. It feels very different. It's very cinematic. It's very like you're saying, it's slow, but like it's very deliberate. It's very methodical in its storytelling. It's not Clone Wars is like a serial adventure show. You know what I mean? And this has grown further away from that. Still, episodes here and there, but like
Yeah.
the overall arc of the story, like everything in Tantus, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels much more closer to. It feels. It's ironic that like everything in Tantus feels the closest to Andor of any Star Wars content, in my opinion.
But like even like this is the most kind of slow-paced, brooding kind of Star Wars there is, even out of the live-action shows. I think, even out of Andor, Mandalorian, bit, whatever the hell else. Like this,
I think, yeah, Andor's the closest comparison. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't expect it to go this way for sure. But I agree with everything you're saying. Cool. We can talk about it again when it ends, maybe. I went to the film cinema place and I watched Civil War from Alex Garland, and I don't know anything about the reception of this movie really, but there were aspects I didn't really understand, or I didn't really understand how I was meant to feel about that as I was watching it. That in retrospect and listening to Garland, because I listened to an interview with him this week. A lot of those things feel like they were by design now, and at the time I was just sort of confused by them. But now I think I'm starting to gain an understanding. I think I was meant to be confused by them and question them and stuff. So that's sort of making me rethink the film a bit, and it makes me say that like the score I gave it, my initial rating, like I would definitely recommend it more than that suggested. Because I think everyone's going to walk away feeling very different about it, and I think it's a worthwhile experience. But like, it's definitely a film that is an experiential film that people are going to be walking away talking about. It's a very loud film, a very intense film. Some really really cool, crazy scenes. And it's definitely got something to say about today. It's a very current film. So yeah, it was very in your face and just not really, I don't know, not really what I was expecting. I was expecting, knowing his other films and his other work, which I've seen most of, like I was sort of expecting a bit more of a, I don't know, like a bit more of a sci-fi thing, not in terms of like spaceships or anything, but in terms of like it's a bit more of a what could be, a bit more of a, well, it is a what could be. But I don't know, it felt like it was very much talking about us today as opposed to like us in the future, or what, I was expecting it to play more with like I guess an idea or a concept of like what a far future could be like where this would happen, kind of thing. And it doesn't, it sort of feels like if this would happen right now. So it's why it sort of feels like surprisingly like the least fantasy of his films. So yeah, anyway, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's sort of hard to talk about without spoilers and without anyone who's seen it, to be honest. But I just attempted to. Now I've got to cut to Liam. Oh, he's here, thank God.
I watched Galaxy Quest, which is a kind of Star Trek spoof from the 90s, 1999. 1999 was a great year for cinema, by the way. A lot of great films from 1999.
Is Galaxy Quest on top of the list?
Probably not. I mean, I think it's Fight Club 1999 and like one of the Toy Stories, maybe. Yeah, but
Toy Story 2, I think, is 99. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, check out 1999. It was pretty crazy. But
when Flash Clear makes a letterboxd list about great films of 1999,
yeah,
you're gonna like that list. Okay, good. But yeah, Galaxy Quest was a very funny film. Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman, all very funny people in their own right when they have the chance to be. It's just very like, it was playing off like, kind of nerd, hyper nerd, like Star Trek culture and the like episodic nature of Star Trek episodes, and Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very good skit film. There's a lot of good bits and stuff, and I'd recommend it. It's a very fun adventure, a fun time. Yeah,
My Netflix keeps recommending it to me,
yeah.
which I'm
I think
offended
I've had
by.
that for a few years on and off. Yeah, you should just rip the band-aid off.
I don't know. I don't like it recommending me because I'm actually not a huge like I don't know, hard sci-fi guy. I guess like I don't like Star Trek, so I don't really want to watch anything that's parodying Star Trek.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't think you have to like Star Trek to like it. It might even benefit you to. Your
Yeah.
dislike
Okay.
might help you out because it's really mocking Star Trek a lot of the time. Star Trek fans,
Yeah. Good.
that kind of thing.
Good.
But
No,
there is like
I like that.
like I think the filmmakers and the writers were like probably like passionate about Star Trek. I think that bleeds through a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. That
nevertheless,
makes
it's a
sense.
good film.
Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, who's the most underutilized actor you have seen in a movie? Andy came in with a list here, but I actually kind of like this list. He says,
Mm.
I want to list a few here because I'm not sure how this question should be answered, but also because there might be shout outs as well. These might be shout outs as well. Oh, this was a good list, Andy. Don't worry. He says, Andy Lau for The Great Wall. Too much focus on Matt Damon and Jing Tian. Jing Tian? Jing Tian? Not much Andy Lau and too much media attention for that K-pop e-boy Luhan. Andy Lau's talent was totally wasted on that pathetic $150 million film, which also failed at the box office. Jesus Christ, I didn't know it cost that much to make. Jamone, speaking of Rebel Moon, Jamone Honsau?
I think it's more Jamon than Jamone,
Okay,
but I
Jamon.
think
Yeah,
it's
Jamon.
Honsu. Yeah,
We all know who Jamon
I
is,
think.
right? For A Quiet Place Part 2, I understand there's a prequel coming where he'll play a larger part, but I've seen him in interviews with Cillian Murphy more than his actual screen time. Leia Seydoux in Dune Part 2 is annoyingly underused. Benicio del Toro in The Last Jedi, I think he's an amazing actor from what I've seen, but what the hell was he doing there? I completely agree with that one. Carey Mulligan in Pride and Prejudice. In fairness, she was written as one of the sisters and is meant to have a shorter role. Just a simple answer where I think she wasn't in it enough. And Jenna Malone hogging the screen time. Yeah, that's true. Carey Mulligan, greater than. I don't know if that faced the right way, but greater than Jenna Malone for sure. Good list there, Annie. Thank you. Dr. Luke said Christian Bale in Thor. I mean, don't call it with some respect. Call it Thor: Love and Thunder, like it's called. Okay, really good movie.
Doesn't deserve the title.
No, I think it does.
Thor
You know what
4.
they should have replaced the TH in Thor with the number 4 and called it
4.
4
Yeah.
and then drop the OR from Thor, so it's called 4.
I don't know if anyone appreciated it, but that's what I attempted to do in my announcement for before what was it called? Before midnight. I
And
said
is it?
before noon, but with the 4.
I didn't read that. Oh.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Anyway, excellent. Christian Bale. I mean, yeah, he has enough screen time, but I think the character wasn't the most well used thing. Yeah, I sort of get that. This took me way longer than I thought to find answers for this. I just got to say. I just thought a few would come to me, and they did not.
Mm.
But I'm curious what you had, Liam.
No, I'm still searching.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Hey, I can go to Jaden.
Okay.
Jaden.
Thank you.
I struggled with this as well. I think earlier in the week I went through it and I had an answer, but then that answer slipped my mind by today. So I was having a
Oh,
look
I hate
again.
that.
And I think what I've settled on is actually a Zack Snyder production, series of productions. In that, I think Amy Adams is severely underused as Lois Lane.
I like that.
I think she could have been a great part of the story. I think she really could have functioned in her own kind of second storyline, rather than just support. I think there's plenty of Superman media out there that have shown us Lois in a greater capacity, doing her own reporting and as a stronger character. So I think had he been able to translate that to his version, with an actor as quality as Amy Adams. Could have been great. So yeah.
I like that answer. I do. Especially in again, the Snyder Cut doesn't save everything, guys, because Amy Adams is still just kind of there in that.
Sure.
So.
But even across Man of Steel and BVS, there's not much of her.
Not really. Man of Steel the most, but that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, pop quiz. Who was the villain in Pirates of the Caribbean 5?
Javier
Bardem.
Oh, you're both right. Oh shit. I thought he was underused because I forgot he was in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Salazar,
I feel like
wasn't his name Salazar?
Oh my god, you know his name too? Jesus Christ, maybe this is a bad answer. I just thought that has a lot of potential. Javier Bardem as a villain of a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. That sounds kind of cool. And just what a boring character. You know what I mean? So that was kind of the best I had.
Hold on, is that 5 or 6? I went dumb. That's 5, yes.
There's no 6th one.
Yeah. I was just trying to think through them. I was like, wait, hold on.
Oh,
I
man.
lost my place completely.
Liam will probably hate this one, but I also thought of Michelle Williams in Venom, in both of them. Just come on. No.
Why would I hate that one?
Because you don't like Michelle Williams.
Huh?
You don't like Michelle Williams?
Oh, I don't like her in The Fablemans because it's a cringe performance. That's it. I like Michelle Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, talk about when these superhero movies, that's actually probably the most. Same with Christian Bale. That answer. It's the most potential for answer where these superhero movies hire these incredible actors to just play whatever roles and
I disagree with you with. I think in the first Venom, I think she's used very well, and significantly. Yeah, I think in the second one you can probably stake a case.
Oh yeah, the second one.
But the first one I reject.
I don't really remember it that well, to be honest. I was probably more going off my memory of the second one. What did she do in the first one, though? I don't remember any scene with her in it, other than I think she's at a restaurant at some point. Or was that the second one?
Sorry,
I don't remember any scene with her in it, in either of them.
Well, in the first one, she actually dons the suit. I think she might in the second one as well, but in the first one, she does.
Oh, that's right.
She does it, and she
she becomes Venom.
Period. And her relationship with Tom Hardy is convincing, I think, and I think she is still a fun comedic part of the film as well.
Oh God. Okay.
I don't remember her in 2 either. To be fair, Zach, I haven't seen number 1.
I'm just remembering. Sorry. I just had flashbacks of her as Venom in number 1, and that's not good. Sorry. Thanks for that. Did you guys know Stellan Skarsgård was in a ton of Thor and Avengers movies?
Yeah, he was the doctor guy.
Talk about forgettable. Oh my God.
Mm.
That's when you picture that character, you don't even picture Stellan there. You picture that's just some, I don't know, some generic dude I've never seen before, and it's but it's actually Stellan Skarsgård. You know what I mean?
No, I reject that one too.
Liam, please come in here.
Well, this might not be the best quality answer because I just found it just now, and it might be a bit controversial. Mine is Ben Mendelsohn in Ready Player One. Remember, he was the villain of Ready Player One.
Oh yeah, good answer.
Yeah. I reckon. Way too generic for the masterful Ben Mendelsohn, who was on our show, who featured for a brief amount of time on our show. I don't know. It was. I wanted a bit. You need to add a bit more quirkiness if you can have Ben Mendelsohn as the villain. A bit more. He was just a guy in a suit. Really, he was the bad CEO kind of archetype. So that wasn't great.
I agree 100%. Wait, Jan, you like this movie, don't you?
Ready Player One, yeah.
Oh, that movie's so bad. I can't. I don't know what I got it rated at, but it's too high. That movie sucks. So I agree with that answer. Another one
I think
that
it's one
came.
of Spielberg's better works.
Oh my God.
Better than a certain list, anyway.
Oh Jesus! I came across I came across this one as well in my attempts at searching for this. But how much of this is a valid answer in terms of whose fault it was? And I'm talking about Mads Mikkelsen in Fantastic Beasts 3. because
Oh,
I don't know if I can blame him, but and it's not even necessarily a lack of screen time either. But that just did not work at all.
but I think that is probably like the more appropriate answer for the question, and actually underutilized. You know?
True. No. Yeah.
Whereas
For how good they are,
I
and the
feel like your
potential in the
answer of
role.
like Michelle
Yeah.
Williams isn't necessarily underutilized, maybe misused more.
Oh wait, are they the same? Well, hang on, I
No.
could say the same. They're kind of the same thing.
Maybe. No, because I think no. Actually, no. I think just discard my misuse comment. That's false. But I think sorry. I think you know. Okay.
The
Mads is
thing.
a good answer.
Thank you. The thing is with it is that I thought Johnny Depp was really good in the role. Actually, like I thought he had a solid performance, and then like you replace him with Mads, who's like awesome as well. It's like I don't know. Even if he doesn't have to like replicate Johnny, if he brings something different to it, that's fine. But like I don't know, it sort of just makes sense that would still be an interesting role. And he came in and it's just like infinitely flatter.
But like I thought he was pretty flat in Doctor Strange as well as the villain. You know, people forget he was also in that.
Yeah, everyone forgets that, including me. Yeah.
So like maybe he's just not good at villains like that are in these like big productions. I guess. I mean, he was Hannibal, and that's a renowned performance. But I don't know. Maybe
I liked him in. I still like him in Indiana Jones, to be honest. But,
I like him in Death Stranding.
Is he really the villain though, Jaden?
Wait.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm glad. Okay. I'm glad someone accepted one of my answers, so thank you. Okay. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment section, or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is, to Jaden's dismay, which of the 7 deadly sins do you commit the most?
No, indulge in. I think would be like a more like kind of
Indulge in?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
it depends on the sin, though.
No, but isn't like an indulging in a sin like isn't that like the kind of like because like it's like a indulging implies like a knowing pleasure kind of
exactly. But yeah. I feel like committing broadens the question more because like I don't. I'm sure there's some that I don't want to indulge in, but I'm sure I do. You know what I mean?
But I feel like it depends on the sin you're talking about because like you can indulge in sloth. But if it's adultery, it's like you commit adultery.
You can definitely.
Yeah, but I reckon commit is the more appropriate word when you're talking about adultery. You know, like committing the sin, not indulging in it.
Perhaps. I think that indulge has like a seedier connotation to it. You know, and when you're talking about sin,
exactly,
maybe.
But is this why you didn't like the question? Because in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm going to have to admit to liking to do one of these sins. It's like that's not the question. Like you can say I don't like it, but I do it. No, you can say like there's this sin I don't like that I do it, but I do it sometimes. You don't have to be like you don't have to be like I love lust. I'm all about it. You know what I mean?
But what if I do?
Well,
did you use the word indulge?
Be honest.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Before we go, we have an Instagram poll to announce nominees.
I'm not going first. That's my.
You know what's funny? I've forgotten the movie that. Oh
my god!
No! It's back.
Thank God. Okay, we've got Jaden and Liam going head to head. Liam needs to be stopped. They'll be nominating a film each, and you must vote to decide which film we will be reviewing in a fortnight's time. Jaden, kick us off.
I'm not sure if this has been nominated before. If it has, then this is a fault on my part because it clearly lost last time. I'm nominating the Sound of Metal.
Oh shit! Okay, that's huge. You haven't seen it, have you?
No.
Cool.
Okay. Trying to get the Scanlan verse. I see. Wow.
It's a good strategy.
Mine is I'm Not There, which is it's a Bob Dylan. It's a movie about Bob Dylan where several different actors play Bob Dylan, and it's kind of a faux like biography kind of thing, like half real, half fake kind of a biography melding of different genres. I don't really know what it is. It's just a unique kind of biography film by What was his name? Todd Haynes is the director who's done a lot of great stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Excellent. I sense the end is nigh. So
I wouldn't be.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll see. Those are your two options. So go to our Instagram page, check out our stories sometime within the next 24 hours after this episode goes live, and cast your vote. Very good. Okay. That's it for this week's episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Jesus Christ. Fitzy, what are we doing next week?
For our 200th episode extraordinaire, we're doing a very special film. Not really. I mean, it's another. It's from a director we've done a lot of films from, but we're doing Seven. We're doing Seven.
Succession? We already did
Succession,
that.
yeah. Now we're doing the David Fincher Seven, crime thriller film about the 7 deadly sins. You could probably guess. I mean, what other movie would we ask that question for? Probably no other film. But
Yeah, they guessed like 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
But yeah, it's on Netflix, Binge, Foxtel. So yeah.
Yeah, Spooky, there's a word limit on your review, by the way, of whatever is less than the essay that you've already submitted.
Thank you for saving me there, because I wouldn't have said that and then I'd have to read it. Oh, man. All right. Join us next week for episode 200. It'll be fun. No one else really has to have a reason to be excited necessarily, but like, we're excited.
No, we're getting a full roundtable of Fincher, Pitt, and Freeman on the show.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, is this the 25th anniversary of the movie? Oh, no, the movie came out in 1997?
7, yeah.
Or was it 1999?
No, I think you were right about
95.
There you go.
Oh, shit. Okay, now we're way off that. Maybe, next year's 30. Holy shit, next year's 30 years. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's it. Appreciate Liam and Jana for joining me as always. Have a great rest of your week, and goodbye.